Following the release of Star Wars Attack of the Clones, LEGO released a handful of 6 sets for the movie, with one of them being the first LEGO set to include the first ever Clone Trooper minifigures. It's almost like it was based on a movie that introduced clones or something. Okay, am I the only one that finds it crazy how the first Clone Trooper minifigures only came in 2 sets? I could have sworn he came in at least like 3 or 4, but no. The first Clone Trooper minifigure was only in the Republic gunship in 2002 featuring Jedi Bob, which I despise how much he sells for now, and in the 2003 ATTE. That didn't come out in 2002 as well? I don't know, I think the degree of iconicity I've always given this figure just made me think he came in more sets. Anyway, this is in fact the first Clone Trooper, in case you didn't hear me say that before, but I don't think he looks half bad. Well, okay, he's a Clone Trooper, how could he? But still, he doesn't have a whole lot to him, but it's classic. It's simple but effective, and oddly accurate to the movies. Or at least I feel it is. It's interesting to note that these are the only Phase 1 Clone Troopers to ever use the helmet slit style, taking design cues from the Royal Guards, Scout Troopers, and Snow Troopers at the time. This figure doesn't have visor printing on the helmet, but rather a slit where the visor would be. This allows for a black head on the inside to show through and act as the visor. I personally always thought this looked really cool and unique, though it does make it harder to change the head on the inside without ruining the outside look. Now, if you actually want a face on your figure, you're gonna have to do something like a balaclava head, but even then you'll have to flip it around so the face doesn't show through the front still. Then you have to turn it back or forth every time you want to take the helmet on or off. Something else I'll say about this figure that I didn't realize until I own one for myself is that the helmets on this clone and this clone only have these weird chins under the helmets covering up their necks and tops of the torso, making it a bit hard to move the helmet side to side. At first I actually thought this was some excess plastic or something and I got lucky and got a special mismolded figure, but after buying a second one I noticed that's not the case. Stormtroopers were about 17 years late for this party. After this we had to wait until 2005 to get more clones, and this is where the fun begins. This year we got 5, or if you want to count it, 6 clones. All Phase 2. Let's just get this out of the way. Yes, they look like Stormtroopers. There, you don't have to tell me. Sorry. I personally think this type of clone might be one of my favorites. Something about it is just super cool to me. I think I just like collecting all the colors. Yeah, it didn't take long for LEGO to introduce the addictiveness of clones. The fact the same clone and multiple different variants exist. You think you just want a normal Phase 2 clone and the next day, bam. Don't forget the Jet Trooper variant. Ah, darn it, I'm missing that one. Someday. In all seriousness, I do think that each version of the original Phase 2 clone is really cool, though that may be the completionist in me talking. These figures also use the helmet slit, and something I sometimes forget is how they actually use the same torso print as the first Clone Troopers. Nothing wrong with it, I just don't usually think about it. I know, it's awful of me, I'm sorry. Also, something I always notice on these pilot figures is how they kind of have this weird mouth or mustache looking thing with how the molding is for the helmet. And after looking at that, I just noticed all the other ones have that as well. I can't unsee it now. Each figure just has so much character, including this Commander Cody Bly 327th Trooper. 2 years later, in 2007, we got, oh no. We also got another version of the Commander. I wonder how they did it. Wow! Great figures. Okay, we got past the bulk of the Phase 2 clone colors. Surely 2008, 3 years later, there can't be any more. Ah! Okay, I can do this. So, in 2008, with the release of Star Wars The Clone Wars, we got a normal Phase 1 Clone Trooper, a Phase 1 Clone Trooper with a rangefinder, a Phase 1 Pilot, a Phase 1 Commander, Captain Rex, Commander Cody, Commander Fox, and just to rub it in, they gave us one more Shock Trooper. These guys are awesome. These figures are so fun to collect and ogle. With all the different variants, you could have a clone for anything. Even one normal clone can be turned into any type of clone trooper you wanted now, with different accessories being available and holes on the sides of the helmets allowing for different rangefinders and visors. We'll get to this, don't worry. Now, something I found while researching for this video is apparently there are 2 versions of the Commander Fox figure. Phase 1 Commander Fox only came in 1 set, but apparently there are 2 versions of him. One with the dark gray semicircle above his belt and one with the light gray one. Was this another smooth hair Leia situation with the printing failing or something for some sets? If anyone knows, please tell me. And the Shock Trooper from this year? Wow. Next year in 2009, we got, oh boy, one of the most iconic and beloved LEGO Star Wars sets, the 2009 Clone Walker Battle Pack. Ah, yes. Coming with a brand new Clone Gunner minifigure, 2 normal clones, and 1 Clone Commander. And if you wanted, it could be 3 normal clones if you take off the Commander's accoutrement and just make him a normal clone. This was also the year we got the 2009 Corporate Alliance Tank Droid, coming with a normal clone but with a jetpack this time. This doesn't really have anything to do with the figure itself, but I love how this set included a little launcher for the clone. That was fun. 2010 gave us 6 more clones, including brand new unique clone pilot molds. I always thought these new clone pilot minifigures were kind of odd. I don't know, they just look very menacing to me. Look kind of creepy. look like skeletons or something. I don't know. Kind of remind me of the ATEP driver had, how that was like a weird skeleton-looking thing. I don't know. Star Wars is weird. We got a normal pilot, a pilot with a white head that I'm still not sure what this is supposed to be, Captain Jack, Squeaky, the new guy, and another clone commander where, wow! This year's Phase 2 clone is actually the last ever clone to use that original Phase 2 helmet style. This is basically an updated version of the plain 2005 Phase 2 clone. Now it is more defined and high quality detailing, with the helmet being redesigned in a way where it now looks more like a Stormtrooper with the new dotted mouth pattern, similar to Stormtroopers in 2008. To be fair, the original Phase 2 clone trooper just having a black line for the mouth was similar to the original Stormtroopers just having a black line for their mouth, but by 2008 the Stormtroopers gained that dotted mouth pattern, so it seems like by 2010 the clone troopers tried to match that. Technically, the first of these dotted mouth patterns would have been on the 2007 Shock Trooper. Huh. What a world we would live in if consistency existed. This is a side note, but I just realized 2010 was also the last year of Mandalorians using the helmet and jetpack mold. Huh, I guess 2010 was like a final hurrah for old LEGO Star Wars. Or in 2011, they were just like, you know what, we're changing it. I don't know. 2011 added 10 more boys to the box, with this box of boys being added to the Armada. Featuring a swanky Horn Company trooper, O'Brien, Bomb Squad troopers, ARF. We also got the elusive Shadow ARF figure. Someday. We also got a new clone pilot exclusive to an advent calendar, where the only difference is now he has a black head. Sure. A swanky as heck Wolfpack trooper that uses the same jetpack as the 2009 Jump Trooper, because yes, I do have one. I don't know why I didn't show it before. And 3 commanders. What? Well, okay, 2 commanders and 1 captain. What? In the same set with the Wolfpack trooper, we got Commander Wolf. Really? I wrote that in the script like it was some crazy fact. We got a lesser version of Commander Cody and another Captain Rex, which I believe the only difference between these figures is, wow! Also, the reason I said there were 10 clones this year is because this thing exists. Coming in a LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars DSI armor case kit, we got a 2008 Phase 1 clone, but this time it has a Clone Wars Anakin head. Don't know what happened there. This made Anakin so mad he did the same thing back. Great game, by the way. Just beat the 3DS version in June. In 2012, we got just 3 more clones, including Phase 1 Commander Gree. Yay. The Rancor Battalion ARF Trooper. Yay. And it. The SW0377 Clone ARC Trooper Hammer Rancor Battalion Phase 1 Dark Red Cloth Pauldron Black Cloth Cama Large Eyes Clone Trooper. Possibly one of, if not the most legendary Clone Trooper minifigure. Well, okay, there are some other ones we'll get to. And I believe the only ARC Trooper figure to this day. It's kind of weird to think about. I've been trying to clear my mind of past mistakes lately, so I'm gonna be honest here. One of this guy's arms isn't original. I got this figure at Bricks and Minifigs, and his arm was cracked. The clerk swapped out his arm with a new one. While they were switching it out, I said, it's not original now, and they said, well, I think the figure would be happy with a not cracked arm. I said true and bought the figure anyway. I'm wondering if that was the right thing to do or not. Also, by the way, this ARC Trooper actually has foot printing. That's something. This incredible figure also gave us some of the first looks into the eventual downfall of LEGO printing on minifigures. Also, just so you know, I'm pretty sure I bought the Rancor ARF and ARC Trooper separately. Well, now that my daily LEGO confession is out of the way, 2013 gave us a revolution. 12 more clones came out this year, with the LEGO doing a lot of Phase 1 stuff. Yes, 11 years after their movie. What's a year late anyway? Nonetheless, we got a normal Phase 1 clone, Phase 1 pilot, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, commander. Boy, they really just gave you the whole ranking there. Can I just say that I think the 2013 LEGO Phase 1 clone designs are just about the most accurate clone designs from LEGO, maybe even some of the most accurate Star Wars figures in general from LEGO? Don't worry, I'll talk about these. But we didn't just get Phase 1 clones, we got Phase 2. We got supposedly a 212th Trooper. Why is it yellow and not orange? It looks more like a 327th. Oh no, not that again. We got a 501st Trooper, a 501st Pilot, and it. Everyone spend $300 on a clone? Well, was it worth it? Heck yeah, it was. This guy's great. To be clear, I got this figure from the set back in the day. I did not spend $300. That investment's paying off. We also got some LEGO created clones like the Special Forces clone and Jack 14. Huh. Oh yeah, make that 13 with the Special Forces Commander. Brick says this figure only came in this Yoda Chronicles book, but I got it in this thing. I also kind of like how I got my modern prototype Boba Fett figure in this thing and not this thing. 2014 ended up being the year of Phase 2 clones. 1 year before their 10th anniversary. We got a normal Phase 2 clone, a Phase 2 clone with the Santa hat, which apparently the advent calendar that figure came in also came with the Phase 2 helmet for it in a different day. So, yeah, I always wondered why it always said it was a Phase 2 clone when it didn't even have the helmet to show it. But yeah, apparently the helmet for it came in a different day, which I didn't fully realize until I made a video talking about the figure. A Wolfpack Trooper, a good 212th Trooper, a 212th Airborne Trooper, a Shock Trooper, a Bark Trooper, or Commander Neo. I don't know, I always thought it was Commander Neo because that's what Brickfault said, but apparently, I don't know, if you say that, people get angry. So, yeah, just call it a Bark Trooper, please. It's for your own good. I'm sorry. Kashyyyk Trooper, Kashyyyk Scout Trooper, Commander Gree Phase 2. Yay. Another Jack 14 with a Stormtrooper helmet, and another new style clone pilot. Fun. Going above and beyond here with a second confession about a Lego figure. Yeah, when I got this figure, I didn't check the quality. I didn't look at him, and yeah, you know, that's something. Just has a cracked arm. Sorry. 2015 reeled things in a bit more with just 5 clones for the year. We got a Geonosis clone, a Geonosis Airborne Trooper, a new version of Lieutenant that included leg printing. Which, can I just mention how I always thought it was kind of funny how the Lieutenant that came in the poly bag didn't have leg printing, while the one that came in the normal set did. I mean, I understand the poly bag version was from 2013 before leg printing was really that big of a thing, so it makes complete sense, but I still thought it was just kind of funny. We also got another Phase 1 pilot, now featuring leg printing, and once you know it, another Phase 2 pilot. Pretty even year. Alright, 2016, here we go. Oh, I guess there weren't any new clones for that year. Well, at least we got the turbo tank. And 2017? Does this count? Well, hey, at least we got a new version of the Clone Gunner minifigure, which looks really good, and I'm sure they would never replace. 2018, really scraping the bottom of the barrel here, huh? Well, at least we got an updated version of the 2013 Clone Trooper. Now it's even more accurate, and probably one of the most accurate LEGO Star Wars figures in my opinion. I'm saying that without thinking of any other figures that might be more accurate. Yeah, I mean, the 2014 Phase 2 Clone Trooper does exist, doesn't it? I always thought it came out in more sets beforehand, but apparently no. It only came out in the Kieti Mundi Army Builder set. 2019. Oh, 2019. So many memories of being a LEGO fan that year, and I'll take what I can get. Slightly altered variants of Kashyyyk clones. Now Commander Gree Phase 2 has a brown bootstrap. Wow. Now Scout Trooper has brown detailing under the hip. Wow. Okay, well then 2020 probably won't have anything. Oh my goodness. Squidward! After years of LEGO Star Wars fans asking LEGO for a 501st Battle Pack, LEGO delivered. Sorry, they built it. We got a new 501st Trooper and 501st Jet Trooper. I still don't fully know how I feel about these figures. I feel the colors don't really clash that well without those black hips and blue arms. They still look good, but I always just thought something was kind of off about them, I don't know. Though the Jet Trooper, I do love the Jet Trooper. The blue arms look quite swanky. The new style face printing looks kind of odd with it being a mix of animated and live action. Definitely no money-saving tactics going on there whatsoever. But it's okay, it's not like they're gonna make it look even worse in, I don't know, 2022 or anything. What have I done? We also got a pretty cool 332nd Trooper and a grand total of 1 set. Darn, it's okay, it'll be fine. They can just release a battle pack in 2023 or something with the exact same figure intact. I should really stop talking. And we got an Airborne Trooper, which is now worth more than me because nobody wanted to buy the $80 General Grievous Starfighter. Jeez. Alright, 2021, off a year for LEGO Star Wars. Lots of mediocre sets that year. This is gonna be a little tricky. Okay, we got 2 sets with new clones this year. That being everybody's worst nightmare with the Clone Pilot, Commander minifigure, and the Bad Batch set with a sturdy roof. We got Hunter, Echo, Wrecker, Tech, Evil Crosshair. Please, LEGO, I just want a normal Crosshair. I like Evil Crosshair, it's a cool figure, I'd rather have it than not have it, but someday I just want a normal Crosshair. But LEGO refuses to give us one. Oh yeah, and there's this too. Okay, 2022, here we go. We got the best LEGO ATTE set ever. Also my only LEGO ATTE set ever. We got a whatever Clone Trooper that doesn't look that great and replaces the previous Clone Gunner, darn it. We got a bad Clone Trooper in it, we got an awful Clone Trooper in it. Okay, give me a second here. The idea of 2 12th Troopers in LEGO, a fine idea. They did it in 2013, and I think they're some of the most accurate looking LEGO Star Wars figures. I love them. Using the new mixed clone printing, apparently not a fine idea on 2 12th Troopers. They look fine, but like the 2020 501st Troopers, I don't think they clash as well as the old ones. This time even less so, I feel. They look kind of bland. And of course the helmet holes. Now, okay, I don't think helmet holes are a bad idea, and I would like to have them and have them work well. I think they're awesome on the Phase 1 clones. I just hate how they, for no reason, added a second dot on top of the old one when they could have just, if they really needed to, shifted the one that was already there up a little bit and then drill the hole, and then there we go. They would have looked perfectly fine. Now the helmets look really blocky and weird when they don't have to. They were completely fine on Phase 1 because they didn't change the shape of the helmet. And according to LEGO, apparently the helmet holes is why the printing on the 2 12th Troopers is both inaccurate and offset. Sure, LEGO. Sure. The ATTE also gave us the first, The real Phase 2 Cody. I personally don't really like how this figure looks. I don't think it looks substantial enough. Looking at the old Commander figures, they have a lot on them. They feel important. It's all that accoutrement. But this guy doesn't. Maybe it's just me, but I just don't think there's enough there for this guy. And I don't really find the look of the printing on this guy all that appealing either. Maybe it's part of that mixed style again. Lego, just do one or the other style. Just make it accurate, please. Either that or actually make it look good. We got some fake clones this year. Yay. Nah, I think these figures are cool. These figures actually came out before the other ones, so they don't have the helmet holes, so, you know, they actually look good. I personally don't mind the purple clones. I think they're fun and look neat. I believe they're based off of some custom 187th Hasbro clone figures from back in the day. However, this year started another awful thing. Printed waist capes. You know how I said I didn't feel the Commander Cody figure felt very substantial? Well, say goodbye to substantial feeling clone troopers for good with the death of physical waist capes. Oh my gosh, Lego. So even Lego's trying to remove physical media. Okay, it's not that bad. It looks fine. The 187th Purple Airborne Clone Trooper, it's just, it looks like some cool printing. The figure doesn't even need a waist cape. Lego wouldn't ruin Clone Troopers because this year we also got another version of the Phase 1 clone. Yay. Okay, I'm kind of mixed on this figure. I don't think he looks awful, but I still might prefer the 2018 design. I don't know, something about it always just look kind of off with these guys. Though funnily enough, I actually think this version of the figure looks a bit more substantial than the 2018 version. Though is the normal average plain Phase 1 clone really meant to feel that substantial? Moving on to 2023. Okay, they can't mess anything else up. It'll be fine, right? I need to stop it. Okay, we got 2 battle packs this year. Fun. We got another File First battle pack, this time actually titled File First battle pack, now with false advertising. Let's see, we got a Clone Heavy Trooper. Okay, looks fine enough. We got a Specialist with a visor that looks unfinished. Okay, and we got a printed waist cape. Okay, now that is a problem now. Look at this thing. What is there to this guy? Why should I care about this guy? There's nothing to him. He just looks like a possibly worse version of a normal File First clone. The hecking plastic waist cape would have been better than this. Also, am I the only one to realize how the injection mold for the visors is on the top now? When I first noticed it on these modern clone troopers, I thought I was going crazy. I was wondering if they always had that. But no, Lego's just doing Lego things. But seriously, who thought this looked okay? Well, okay, maybe the next battle pack can save it, darn it. Okay, this one's better, but the 332nd Troopers, I don't feel look as good in the set as they did in 2020. Might be the helmet holes making the figures look more blocky. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. The printing also just overall looks worse now. That could be the helmet holes causing that, or Lego's just stupid, I don't know. They still look fine enough, but still. And they include a Captain Vaughn, a named figure in an army building set. Okay, gotta build that Ki-Adi-Mundi army. This I feel is a lot of Commander Cody and this guy syndrome, where the figure is supposed to be different, but there's not enough on him or different about him to actually make him feel important. Yes, there are differences from the normal clones, but overall it just feels like oh wow! This year also gave us this abomination. Now if you're someone who could stomach purchasing a set of this poor quality, you might just find yourself with one of the worst clone minifigures ever. I couldn't stomach it. The new Coruscant Guard gunship from this year gave us 2 new clones, including a brand new Shock Trooper, which I actually think looks really cool besides the whole helmet hole debacle, and a new Phase 2 Commander Fox figure. This, right here, is probably my least favorite clone trooper minifigure ever. So far, at least, you know, who knows what 2024 will bring. Okay, let's speedrun this. This figure has the wrong colored visor, excess white printing on the chest that doesn't even show up as white in real life, but rather a weird pinkish color, a printed waist cape instead of a physical one, and overall bad looking printing in general. Fun! Though I will say, the one good thing to come out of this build is the fact you can build a dropship out of it. And for that, I had to stomach it on January 13th, 2024. That will cause you some confusion in a minute. Okay, last figure of the year. Can't be that bad. Alright, after 10 years, we finally got another Phase 2 Captain Rex in the UCS vendor. And at least it's better than the Commander Fox. I only have a few issues with this figure. The pauldron could be a bit smaller, it looks really big, and it's not really supposed to be. He has a printed waist cape, yet comes in a $650 set. And this might be a me thing, but I don't really think the colors clash that well. Though that's something I feel towards a lot of the modern clone troopers, so that's fine. I mean, I still think it looks neat, but still, I don't know. I mean, it's cohesive with the rest of the new clone troopers, so it's fine, I swear. Finally, we did it. We made it to 2023, and since December, that means we won't have new clone troopers to talk about for a month. I'm free! Darn it. Fine, I'll talk about it real quick. Okay, January 2024 clones. The only new clone trooper we have at the moment is a new version of the plain Phase 2 clone trooper. And I think they're serviceable. Of course, I don't think they look nearly as good as the super accurate and amazing looking 2014 plain Phase 2 clone troopers, but I think these figures look fine overall besides the helmet holes. And a clone trooper in a battle pack.